Be here now. I always wondered what that meant because obviously, like, we're always physically here, but like to be fully present in a moment, for someone like me that's always in their heads, that's always overthinking things, that has this constant internal dialogue, even in my meditations, and I'm like detaching myself from my thoughts and I'm watching them just come and go. I still have this active dialogue, like, oh, look, there's one. Oh, look, there's one. Like, there's no like uh, uh, um, pause of that chatter. Like, when I bring my attention to my breath, it goes away for a minute, but then I'm like, I start up the dialogue again. So every moment that we're in, we're always kind of looking to the next one for, I guess, something better. Maybe the current moment that we're in is like boring, like we're in traffic, or we're at work and we can't wait to like go home, or we can't wait to get to where we want to go, or like like me, you're goal oriented, so like you want to get to where you're achieving your goals, and you're kind of like not really with the process of getting there. And that's completely normal because we're all like escaping ourselves in a way. But over the past year, I was doing something called shadow work, where you're basically bringing a lot of the unconscious into the conscious. You're looking at things that you either suppressed or things about you that you don't really like, without judgment, and allowing yourself to feel these things. Like, maybe it could also be fully mourning something that you didn't allow yourself to feel. So a lot of the shadow things that were repressed within me were like my emotions, because me being a Capricorn, all of my emotions feel like uncontrollable and feel really unstable and terrifying. And like, for someone who likes control, it's a little scary to kind of give yourself to your emotions out of fear that you will lose yourself and you won't be able to get back to some sort of concrete, grounded foundation. But within the depths of my shadow work, I started looking at all the things that I wish that I had control over, right? Like falling outs with friends, or people that I dated, or people like harming themselves, or really just, I guess, judging themselves in a way that is entirely destructive. And because those are aspects in me that I notice in other people that I am not too fond of, it's hard not to see those things and want to do something about it in other people, right? But that's not really helpful. Like, you wish someone well, you could notice that like something might not be a good thing for someone, but like, to wish that you can do something about it, especially if the other person has no desire to change that behavior, or has or sees nothing wrong with what they're doing. Who are you to think that you are their savior in a way, right? So instead of like feeling like I need to fix a situation, or I need to show these friends of mine, like, hey, look, I've changed. Hey, look, like, what you think of me isn't true, and we could move on from it. I came to this place in one of my meditations that I'm referring to as radical acceptance. And the way that I was able to come to this radical acceptance is realizing that for some people, and I know this is true for me when I was younger, and a lot of us when we were younger, like high school and stuff like that, but like for some people, they need to hate you to love themselves. And who am I to judge their healing process? Everyone's healing process looks differently. And if you need to cut certain people out of your life, or you need to demonize certain people in order to heal from a certain trauma, that's entirely your business. And that has nothing to do with me. And this radical acceptance released all of the tension in my body that I had to want to be on like the good side of things with people that really don't have any desire to have me in their life. And for me to like try to do everything I can to show them that like, hey, I don't need to be in your life, but like, you know, accept me for who I am now and not judge me for who I was. That's projection. Like I might internalize that feeling as I'm trying to help them and help me and entirely just help the situation elevate. But in reality, it's really just me wanting to better my own situation and my own relationship with them. What if me being in their lives at all does nothing but harm them? You know, like, because part of the radical acceptance I came to was also respecting that we all have different timelines of healing, of processing things. So it only makes sense to drop this expectation that people can grow and learn at my pace, or that I need to slow things down for other people, or in the case of certain people that are like really spiritually advanced, I need to speed things up to catch up to where they are. Like, it's all about just authentically being where I'm at right now and meeting others where they're at, but understanding that if someone is just so far beyond or behind where you are, that maybe you being in their life does more harm than help. And especially if they're like healing from a trauma that involves you, like it was their relationship to you that they're trying to heal from. And in order to do that, they need distance, they need time, and that could take however long that they need. You know, some people need to permanently cut out certain people and permanently demonize certain people in order to find their self-confidence again, in order to find their own self-worth. And that's fine, you know, like who am I to judge that process? Like, that is a process that I know doesn't work for me. Like, I can't demonize other people and put them down in order to elevate myself, because the way that I'm elevating myself is by pushing someone else down. I'm staying exactly where I was. So I'm not really elevating myself. I'm creating the illusion of elevating myself by putting other people down. But who am I to judge that in other people if that works for them? Whatever works for everyone is fine, as long as we're not harming other people. And the funny thing that I've learned through this radical acceptance is that sometimes trying to help other people is harming people. And I've also learned that with my own family members. I realized that like being in their lives is helping and healing them in a way, interacting with them, being an open ear for them to just speak their truths and vent. Like I just want to show up and be a brother. I just want to show up and be a son. I just want to show up and be an uncle, but or a grandson. But Where I start to overstep my boundaries is when I feel like I have some sort of advice I need to give in order to make their lives better. Unless that advice is asked for or hinted towards, it is entirely invasive and potentially harmful, is what I'm trying to say. So, radical acceptance, tying it back into the beginning of this video, the theme of be here now, what it means to be fully present in a moment, because we're always distracting ourselves. Radical acceptance. I just described it in relationship, but radical acceptance of the moment that you're in, who you are, the body you're in, what you're doing with your life, the good and the bad, radically accepting it all, and seeing the beauty in it, seeing the gift that we have of life. Just accept it. You're not perfect, and someone with like this like perfectionist ideal that lives within me, dropping that is so much more freeing. And now I'm not worried constantly about the future. I'm not constantly reflecting on the past. I'm just here. I'm here. Whether I'm here in the moment with a person, I'm here talking to you right now, whatever it is, whatever moment I'm in, that's where I am. Whoever I'm interacting with, that's who I'm with. I'm not thinking of anyone else. I'm not thinking of any place else. Where do I want to be? Yeah, sure, I have goals in life. I write them down, when I'm journaling and stuff. That's my time to reflect. Maybe in meditation is a time to reflect, but the majority of my life now is just radical acceptance of the people around me, how different we all are, not taking this is another thing too, is I used to take everything so personally. At work, whenever someone would have a snide comment, or whenever someone would do something, I would take it personally. Someone would cut me off in traffic, I would take it personally. Someone would have a criticism of what I do or the art that I make, and I would take it personally. All these things that I would take personally was because I wasn't accepting myself. I wasn't accepting that other people have different perspectives and different opinions. Because I feel like we really want to defend every aspect of who we are, because in reality, we don't truly fully believe who we are. And we're like looking for every little piece of evidence that we can that reaffirms who we are, so that way we could feel more solidified and justified in living the lives that we live and stuff. But and so when we encounter criticisms, like, here's the thing, online, I used to argue with people online all the time. Like, 2020 was a disaster. Like, obviously in the 2010s, yes, but in 2020 specifically, like political arguments. Before that, Star Wars arguments. All these stupid arguments. Relationships ended, and just flame wars here and there. Who did I convince? What kind of show are you putting on? Because like, there's nothing wrong with an academic debate, like if you're like actually in conversation with someone, but if you're just emotionally arguing with people online, what are you really proving? You're not proving anything. This radical acceptance has an element to it that I am just now, after 11 years of a spiritual practice, 12 years almost of a spiritual practice, I'm only understanding and accepting this element of radical acceptance now. And that's surrender. That's how you get to radical acceptance, is surrendering to the moment. Surrendering to who you are, surrendering to your history, surrendering to your surroundings, to the people that are around you, everything, surrendering to everything. And then once you let go, then all of a sudden your need for control is gone. All of a sudden your need to go back and do things differently in the past, or your need to like have to get things right for all of that falls away. Because true surrender to a moment and to where you're at right now in your life, true surrender is trust in yourself. And take it from someone who has had their trust broken tons of times and has had a hard time trusting anyone, including myself. This is something that I've been working towards for 12 years. It's not easy. So like, as easy as I'm making it sound now, it's because once you finally get on, you break on through to the other side of this. Once you're here, it feels so easy and so natural. And you're like, wow, like, how did I not know? But that's the thing, is that even if you do know, it's not an intellectual knowing, it's a heart feeling knowing. It's like something that you're resonating with. When you resonate and you feel the truth of something, then you truly know. And some lessons take, especially for Capricorns like me, some lessons that require an emotional feeling take time to sink in. And so that's what radical acceptance has done for me. I've let go of my expectations of other people. I take in what people say without any kind of radical judgment, without taking anything personally. And here's the thing, is that this sounds like it's not doable, really, because we're human beings and we're still gonna get like emotionally caught up and stuff. But that's the thing, is that we're human beings, we're flawed, and we're still gonna get caught up in stuff. So what I'm saying right now is just my typical day today. I still have bad days, I still have bad moments, but that's part of life. And the idea of having like a true spiritual practice, or just being on your own kind of healing journey, is to just come back quicker. Just come back to yourself quicker. And that's the thing with the practice too, is that you come back quicker the longer that you're doing this practice, the longer that you're being mindful, the longer that you're allowing yourself to feel things, the longer that you're just accepting and surrendering. So thank you for tuning in today. If you have your own story with radical acceptance and surrender, I'd love to hear it. So please comment below, and have a good day.